Good evening, everyone. How all of you doing? Last day of the week, working week, and now you're obviously looking for the fantastic weekend, right? The long weekend. So, guys, fantastic. I strongly believe the way you finishing your week, and I strongly believe that you have completed all the things, all what you planned for this week. Okay, awesome. So now, this is celebration time. Absolutely. I want you to celebrate your weekend, celebrate your Friday evening. But now, most of you might have been started traveling back to home, might you be traveling, might be commuting. I just wanted to plug in your headset and start listening just for next 10 to 15 minutes because today, again, I'm going to share with something which we experienced during the meetings in front of our stakeholders. Okay. And this is typical situation we all face. So I'm going to cover that one today. I'll give more details about it when we go into the topic. But now, first of all, I would like to welcome all those new people who first time listening to me on this live talk. So, everyone, this is Tushar Chaudhary, your leadership coach, and I help mid-senior project managers to grow into influential leaders. So, what I do basically, what I help you, some of you actually having more than 15, 20, 22 plus years of experience, and now you really want to go into the next level. And to go to that next level, what is stopping you is basically the whatever you earn to date in terms of your performance to your experience and the comfortness and the expertise into your technical domain is actually blocking you to go to the next level because what you enjoy your expertise, you enjoy your technical side, and if to come to leave that part and go into more challenging task like leadership roles, you need to come out of that comfort zone, and you prepare your mindset to prepare your attitude to go to that level. And this is where I realize that many of us not easily get transit and not very flexible to move, and this actually blocks you because the people at the top level in the organization, they're looking for you to come out of that domain specific or task focused mindset into the outcome mindset, think bigger for the company mindset, right? So this is where I help you to build that ecosystem for yourself where you operate on daily basis and 24 by 7 to your leadership core values, your core strengths, and you operate to that level full potential where you create impact and influence on the people in the organization beyond projects, beyond technical things. Okay, that's the ecosystem I help you to build. And yeah, that's it for me. That's about me. So now let's go into the topic. So before I say the details of the topic, I want to start with a moment that makes most professionals uncomfortable. Let's say you are in a stakeholder meeting, everything is going well, and suddenly one of your stakeholder asks you a question you don't have the answer, and in that moment, a question you don't have the answer to, and in that moment, your mind goes blank. You start thinking, what will this stakeholder will think about me, what the other stakeholders who are watching me they think about me, who will I look incompetent, should I say something, should I guess something, even if it is not a perfect answer. And many people do exactly that. They guess, they bluff, and they over explain, and that is where you lose your trust. Okay, let me tell you, I need to reframe this so that you can understand. Let me tell you something very clearly. Not knowing is not the problem, pretending to know is the problem. And this, the insight which I just shared with you, it hit me strongly when I read this book, Thinking Fast and Thinking Slow by Daniel Kahneman. Now Daniel, who is a Nobel laureate, he explained in his book that how our mind quickly jumps to answers even when we don't know, we do not have enough information. And that's the dangerous leadership. See, because leaders are not expected to know everything. Please make this clear. They are expected to handle the uncertainty with clarity. Okay, there is no expectation that leaders should know all the answers. Okay, let this be clear. So let me share with you a real workplace example from my project experiences. Okay, I was leading that stakeholder review meeting. Again, everything was going smoothly. Then a senior stakeholder asked me, Tushar, what is the exact cost impact if this delay extends by 3 weeks? Pause. I did not have the exact number. So the earlier version of me would have answered this like, I would have tried to approximate. I would have given a vague answer, or I would have diverted the question. But that day, I chose something different. I said, "Thank you for your question, but I don't have the exact number right now. I want to give you accurate answer, but not right now. But let me validate. Let me work on and get back to you soon, in a couple of days maybe." Yeah. Silence. And then he said, "Okay, Tushar, that makes sense. That works." And after that meeting, I realized, is something powerful. See, our credibility is not built by we always having answers. Our credibility is is built by you have to be straightforward, honest, right? You don't have to bluff for it. You have to be honest. And our credibility is built by what you really are and about what you don't know. So now the question is, how can you do this one? How can you implement this shift, transition in your life? How you can move from that bluffing mindset to being honest mindset? I'd like to give you three practical shifts that you can straight away implement into your day-to-day life. In in the meetings, in such a high-stake meetings where stakeholder asking you some tough questions, this is where your character is going to be tested again. This is your leadership identity. How you're going to handle this situation? For that, I'm going to give you three practical shifts. The shift number one. Now, many times we bluff. We times to answer the question as written in that book, Thinking Fast, Thinking Slow. We try to answer even if we do not have enough information. Okay, so this all happens because of we have some fear within. The fear is of fear of judgment, fear of losing the opportunity, fear of being feel incompetent, what people will think about me. So I want you to move from that fear mindset. Take out that fear mindset, because that fear will trigger you to make some blunders, and those blunders you cannot, again, re that blunders will create so much challenges for you that you cannot redo that one. You cannot take that blunder back. you know so I want you to come out of that fear mindset to have the clarity mindset. When you don't know the answer, your internal fear pushes you to speak quickly or say something randomly, because you want to protect your image, right? But leaders, they don't worry much about it. They choose clarity. In such a situation, I want you to say, actually, I don't have the data right now, but if you allow me some time, I'll work on it and I'll come back to you. Simple, clean, confident. Is that clear? Yeah, that's very straightforward, right? Simple, clean, confident. So I learned this insight from a book called Radical Candor by Kim Scott. Kim mentioned in the book that be honest even when it feels uncomfortable. That honesty builds the trust. Okay, that's the shift number one. Shift number two. Again, we talked about the fear, which resulted into you bluffing. Now, I want you to move. I want you to stop. See, when you control on your fear, definitely the consequence, the bluffing will stop. So I want you to move from that bluffing mindset, guessing mindset, and something speak randomly mindset to structuring the next step mindset. Okay, don't just say I don't know and then stop. Nope. I want you to add some structure to it. Just say, I'll check this out. Thank you for raising this. I'll check this out with the team and I'll get back to you in a couple of days' time or some particular time you can mention. Now, by saying this, what you're showing here is you're showing the ownership. First of all, you're acknowledging the person. Okay, you acknowledging the person. You're not attacking or you're rejecting the person. You acknowledging, and then second, you showing the ownership. Then you showing the accountability, and most importantly, the professionalism. Okay, because you cannot just say I don't know and then okay I'll come back to you. Now give them proper that I'll check with the team and I'll come back to you in a couple of days time, maybe we can have a discussion on Friday. Let's set up a call. I'll set up a call with you and I'll let you know. Yeah, this gives them a feeling that you have taken it seriously, you're working on it, you're giving a deadline also. So that means you are planning to work on it, you are going to do something on it. Now this particular thing which I just mentioned with you, I realized this when I read this book, The Trusted Advisor by David Meister. What David said in the book is that the trust is built through reliability. So what is reliability? I mean, you saying that yeah, I'll check this with my team, and I'll work on it, and I'll get back to you, and follow through. Trust is built through reliability and follow through. So follow through means you are not just hanging the things there. You're saying that okay, in next couple of days, I'll be setting up a call with you. Maybe on Friday, let's have a 30-minute call, and I'll show you. I'll share with you. That's it. Follow through. That's the shift number two. Shift number three. You know, why all these things happening, you know what? Because we want to protect our image, that I don't want to feel like incompetent or idiot in the team environment or project environment. I don't want to lose my credibility. So that's why I'm trying to protect my image. So I wanted to move from protecting image mindset to using that opportunity to build the trust. So most professionals, they try to protect their image, and in that moment you bluff something, you guess something, you say something randomly, and then it goes against of you. That damages you, not only your image, everything, your credibility. So most people try to protect their image in that moment, but leaders, they focus on building the trust. Because because short term image protection is equal to long term credibility damage, and short term honesty will give you long term trust. Do you like this? Please type yes in the comment section. Short term image protection leads to long term credibility damage, and short term honesty leads to long term trust. Now I got this clarity when I read this book by Simon Sinek, Leaders Eat Last. So what Simon said in the book is that leadership is about creating the trust and not appearing perfect. Yeah. So let's say in this situation, what you I can suggest you three practical phrases that you can use. You can say, "Thank you for your concern. Actually, I don't have the data right now, but let me validate, and I will come back to you within 24 hours." Yeah. Or you can say, "That's a great question. Let me confirm and get back to you." Super. Right now, I don't have the data in front of me. I want to give you an accurate answer. So, is it okay if I come back to you? If is it okay if we can meet in next 48 hours? I'll set up a time and then we will go through that details. Is that okay with you? That's it. These are the practical phrases you can use. Okay. So this way, we are coming to the close of the topic today. So next time, if you don't know the answer, don't panic. Don't bluff. Stay honest. Stay calm. Stay clear. Because there is no point. Leaders are not respected for knowing everything. They are respected for handling what they do. No, how you handle them. That's what people want to know about. From they're observing you. So if this, whatever I just shared with you, has made an, if it is really connected with you, if this made you reflect, I want you to comment trust into the comment section. Yeah, because that is what the leadership is built on. Okay. And let's say if you think that there is, if you think that there is something you are experiencing in your real life challenge, if you are experiencing at what you're doing right now, when you have, when you're handling the meetings, and if you're really having this habit of bluffing something or shares something, I want you, uh, you're trying to guess something, I want you to come out of that mindset of, somewhere I see that there's a fear within you, and that fear is causing us to, uh, you know bluff or take something, so that you can satisfy other people. But at the same time, if that bluff is not working for you, you will lose all your credibility. Okay. So if you're going through that phase, if you're going having that type of experiences, I want you to book one-to-one with me. Okay. The link in the comment section, or you can reach out to my LinkedIn profile. There is a book and appointment. And the good thing is, on Sunday at 10 a.m., I'm conducting a webinar, the Project Leadership Mastery, and you can attend that one. The link again in the comment section. Be a part of my community. All like-minded people are connecting together. We all are sharing our challenges, and we're learning and growing together. Okay, that's it for today. I'm gonna sign off today from Bangalore. I'll see you tomorrow again with the same time. I will come up with a new leadership insight again. Until that moment, implement what we learn, and take care of yourself. God bless you.